So today on this blustery Saturday morning here in Lancaster brings me out to a place I've actually not been to before. I've been to this town, I've been to right across the street, but I actually haven't been right behind me here, and that is the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum here in Strasburg. I woke up this morning not sure where I was gonna go. I was thinking maybe I'll go out to Gettysburg or, you know, someplace that I've been before, but haven't made a video yet on the new channel. And then I was thinking, you know what, I've been really wanting to do some train stuff, and I was just at a place not too long ago with my buddy RJ up in Reading, and I thought, yeah, despite the cold, it is a beautiful day today, and I wanted to come see a really cool train exhibit. So right across from me here is the Strasburg Railroad, and this is where you can go and take train rides. There's a gift shop over there, as well as a little eatery. And here are the hours here. They are open Wednesday to Saturday, 10 to 4, and then 12 to 4 on Sunday. Oh, much better. Much better. All right. So as we come in here, we have a little gift shop over to my left here. And then we can go purchase our tickets for the Railroad Museum. But that's pretty cool looking. That's pretty neat looking. Take a look. We just bought my ticket to get in, and gonna look around here, some of the exhibits. I believe there's 2 floors to this as well. And here's a place I've been to many times before. This is up in, actually, no, this is up in Harrisburg. I forget what bridge that's called. That goes right there by the, go right through the Capitol. So I'm gonna make our way in here, and I'm testing out some new gear as well. On the end of my camera here, I have what's called an ND filter, and it's kind of like sunglasses for your camera lens. But let's see how well it works. If it seems like it's gonna be too dark in here, I will take it off and stow it, and then just use the camera lens by itself. But wow, this is something else. So the first section we come to here is called the Train Works. And here we have some track basics. So the head is the top of the railroad there. Web is that thinner part, base, tie plate. And the cross ties, what those are, I always just call them railroad ties. I didn't know what they were actually called. And I won't pretend to know a lot about trains. I've always been into trains ever since I was a little kid, but I never really learned a lot about them. So I'm, you know, kind of learning as I go here with all these train adventures that I do with all the guys and the gals and stuff. Now the museum here itself, you do have to pay to get in. It's only $10 per adult. I'm not sure, I think it's a little bit cheaper for kids and whatnot, which I mean, I haven't even gotten really that far into this place, and it's definitely worth it in my opinion. You know, Strasburg in general, this whole part of Lancaster is actually a really nice area. And there's tons to do in this area, not just the railroad itself. There are the outlet stores, which are up on Route 30. There's Dutch Wonderland. It's not too far from where I'm at. So, you know, definitely a great place to come. You know, I mean, even in the wintertime, but during the summertime, this place is a lot of fun. This real old-fashioned John Stevens locomotive. 1825. This was built. And the replica was built 1939. So here we have one of our first big locomotives we come to. This is a fireless steam locomotive, a thermos bottle on wheels. May back up a little bit here. And one thing I'm definitely going to try and get better at is not just talking to the camera, but taking my time when I'm at these places. I find myself, when I'm editing and going through the videos, I really rush too much because there is a lot to see here. I find myself sometimes, you know, having a hard time saying what I'm actually looking at or what I'm doing because there's so much I want to see, there's so much to do. I kind of fumble a little bit and say a lot of ums and uhs and whatnot, but hopefully I can get better at that, and like I said, take my time with this. I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much. I also want to get better with doing a little bit of research before I come out to these places. I just watched one of Jay's videos yesterday where he went to, I think it's Laurel Run is what it was called, but it's another one of these areas, kind of like Centralia, that has the underground mine fire, and it was a really excellent, well put together video. He did his research on that, the way he edited it, and used overlay footage with the drone. He was there with RJ, and haven't watched RJ's just yet. You know, someone who's been doing this for, you know, pretty much since 2017, you know, I still have a lot to learn with making videos. We got this one decorated up for Christmas. This is Tahoe, a freight steam locomotive. Baldwin Locomotive Works. Really beautiful looking. You know, as many steam locomotives and trains I've been around over the years, I still can't get over the sheer size of these. It's just mind-boggling how big they are. See if I can peek up in there. And from the looks of it, over in this next aisle over here, it looks like we can get on a, I don't know if that's an actual tour that you have to pay separate for, or if we can just go on that. It may be something separate. Okay, forgive me for being a total noob on this, but this looks like this is all the steam locomotives, and then over to my left behind me here is when we start getting into the diesel locomotives. So we'll make our way down the line here and kind of go back and forth. This is definitely impressive here. That's really dark. How about this? Here. Like I said, trying new things out. So I had to take the ND filter off because even at its lowest setting, it was still way too dark. So I figured I'll leave that off while I'm in here. And then if we get to some brighter spots in the museum here, I'll put it back on. Or when we go outside, I'll put it back on as well. That way things won't be overexposed and won't be really washed out. It looks like we got some model trains in this little room here. There's more of a kids' room here. So now here we have the difference between scale and gauge. So gauge refers to the distance between the inside edges of the track railheads, and then scale is the proportion to the real thing. And they have some popular sizes here. N scale is one of my favorites, as you guys may or may not know. So here's the different, I believe this is Z scale right here, and then we've got N, HO, and I believe that's ON30 could be, and then we've got O gauge, or O scale, and then I think that's G scale. That's the big, or what they call the garden scale. I could be wrong on that. All right, we come to the end of this little side area right here, and they have a pretty nice layout. This is HO scale, or HO gauge, yeah, HO scale. And it looks like they have, in addition to that, they do have an N scale. Yeah, seeing this place from the outside definitely doesn't do it justice. You got to come in here and just see how much they actually have in here, and it is really quite impressive, everything they have. Go up the steps here and take a little look inside.
This one served small communities all over Pennsylvania. At the front of the train, 2 baggage cars carry express packages, milk, and other important cargo. Behind these cars, a combine car carried bags of mail, luggage, and other shipments.
Well, this is starting to get a little warm. There we go, that's better. You know, it's really neat seeing all the different history, the different locomotives that are the different generations. and you know, learning about this stuff as I go, especially being right here in Pennsylvania and everything, you know, Pennsylvania Railroad related. I've been to quite a few places all over the state, some abandoned train trestles that were all part of the, you know, either the Pennsylvania Railroad. Down in Maryland, there's the Chesapeake and Ohio, the C&O Canal that I've been to. So, I mean, anywhere you go in this country, you're gonna find loads of railroad history. That's pretty neat. So this one right here, 1187, is the oldest surviving Pennsylvania Railroad steam locomotive. Such a beautiful engine. And over here we have another one. This is 1223, and they say it's an American Star. So this appeared in Broadway Limited in 1941 and Hello Dolly in 1969. So I haven't seen Hello Dolly in I don't know how long, and I think I've only seen it once, so I'll have to go back and watch that and look for this locomotive that's in there. Not really one for musicals, but it is a definite classic to say the least. So hopefully by this time next year, I will have the attic pretty much squared away and at least have, you know, a train set, a model train set started. And one of the first locomotives, I didn't get it when I had the layout out in the garage, but I definitely want to pick one up when I start the new layout. And that is this guy right here behind me. This is the GG1, a wildly popular locomotive. And I know Jamie has one. I know RJ has a couple. I know Nick has them. Pretty much everybody has one, and they are such a beautiful locomotive. And it would be really nice to add to the layout once I get it going. But let's take a closer look. Now this is one locomotive that I did have on the old layout. I believe this is it's a GP30, and I had one when I had my HO set, and then unfortunately that particular locomotive broke on me. It fell off the table, derailed, and took a tumble, and was pretty much unrepairable. So hopefully when I get the new layout in the up in the attic, that it's going to be a lot more controlled. There won't be as much dust, and I should be able to manage it a lot more. And I can dedicate the attic just for, you know, model trains and stuff. So we do have a lot of equipment here from the Pennsylvania Railroad. That's what this logo is, PRR. Pretty neat looking. And then we've got another, I think these are called hopper cars, or open hopper car. This is an open hopper car, and then this one right here is a closed hopper. And this is that logo right there, that is Penn Central. I know RJ's got some Penn Central stuff. Well, RJ I think has everything. He's got quite a collection of stuff. A little jealous, to be honest. And I believe this style locomotive was called an F unit. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it on screen but I believe that is what this particular kind is called. And here we have a little bit of, we have the exclusive business car. And this is from Western Maryland. Now, out in, I believe it's Cumberland, Maryland, there is the Western Maryland Scenic Railway, and that is something I've been talking about for a while. I just haven't Picked a weekend to go out there and take that railroad. I've rode on the Lehigh Valley Scenic Railway up at Jim Thorpe. I've rode this one here at Strasburg. There we go. It got real dark there for a second.
There you go. Let me do me.
A new style of switcher. B1, nickname Rats. We can go up the stairs here and kind of take a peek in to both of these. That's pretty neat. Can't really see too well. Come over to the other side of the GG1 here, and it was the most successful electric locomotive ever built. And I love how throughout this entire museum here, they have all these interactive screens. That's pretty cool. Got some old luggage cars here. Look at this little contraption. We'll look around a little bit more, go on the other side of this this old steam locomotive here. And I know for all of us that make videos and whatnot, that's one of the biggest challenges of this this whole thing we're doing is to, you know, try to get everything that we can get when we're at these places, whether it's B-roll, whether it's pictures, doing our intro or outro. I know numerous times I've forgotten to do one of the others. I will admit sometimes it definitely takes away from the overall experience of where we're at, but it is still fun to be able to document this stuff for you guys, as well as, you know, if I do miss something, that just means I can come back and film it again, or not film at all and just come to one of these places and just enjoy it for what it is and not take my phone out, not bring my camera, and just come to a museum or a park or whatever. You know, it is okay to enjoy some things on your own without you don't have to document everything. I know we live a day and an age where, you know, everyone is posting everything. We all have those friends on Facebook that when they go to the beach, you know, they do like a 97 photo picture drop day in, day out, or every day of their vacation. You know, it's like, I think a lot of times we get so wrapped up in sharing everything that we forget to enjoy some things now and then. And also coming to a big museum like this, I definitely want to do some more, but I also am getting a lot of ideas for what I want to have on the future layout, you know, for cars and whatnot. I am going to stick with N scale, because I can do the experience that I had in the garage with the N scale. You can do so much more, and you can put so much on a layout. Well, that was good. As I came back around this other side here, I was able to, there was no one standing in front of the GG1 there behind me, and I was able to get some nice shots of it, because that's the first time I've ever seen one of these up close in person, I think. I can't remember if I have elsewhere, but man, that is a beautiful locomotive, and that may be one of the first ones I get when I do the new layout. So, but we're going to come down to the pretty much the end here of the museum. I don't know that I'm going to be going upstairs. I don't know if I really have time to. As much as I took my time today, I do got to head home. I mean, Saturdays, Mel does work third shift, so Saturdays and Sundays are pretty much the only days we get to spend together. We don't see each other that often during the week, so if I do come out and do any kind of outing, I always like to do it in the morning and then be home shortly after lunchtime. But if I look at my my phone here, yeah, it's already 1:45, so I think I'm going to wrap things up. But I am going to come back to Strasburg. Well, for being a last-minute kind of impromptu thing, this turned out to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to come back and do some more, do some more filming here around Strasburg. I do want to ride the train again when it gets a little bit warmer outside. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up, and like always, we'll see you soon.